Welcome to the Inner Shift Collective, a space for the soul-led, the self-aware and the seekers. I'm your host, Nat Lamb, mindset mentor, salon owner and believer in the power of inner transformation. This podcast is your invitation to come back home. So let's begin. Have you ever tried to change your mindset only to fall right back into the same old feelings, thoughts, behaviours, habits? You've read all the books, you've said all the affirmations, you've even tried to meditate, but deep down, something still pulls you back. And that's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because your subconscious mind is still running the show. In today's episode, I want to take you deeper into one of the most powerful truths that I've ever learned. If you want lasting change, you have to work with the 95% of your mind that lives below awareness. And let me expand a little bit on that, what I mean by that. What is the subconscious mind? Let's talk about the basics just for a second. Your conscious mind is the part of you that sets the goals and learns new things and decides to change. But your subconscious mind, that's the part that actually drives your behavior. It's like the operating system behind your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, automatic reactions. And here's the kicker. Neuroscience tells us that up to 95% of what we do, say, and feel is controlled by this subconscious mind. The part formed through early experiences, repetition, and emotional imprinting. So when we say things like, why do I always sabotage my progress? Why do I attract the same kind of people? Why do I feel anxious even when things are going well? The answer is often because your subconscious mind is already programmed that way. I'm going to share something real with you now. When I was first diagnosed with ADHD, I dove headfirst into learning how my brain worked. But what I didn't realise is at the time of how much my internal world was being shaped by my subconscious programming that I had picked up over the years. Beliefs like I'm too much, I have to prove my worth, I'll never be consistent, people don't really get me. I must have said these a million times. Even as I began using tools like meditation and journaling, I could feel those deeper stories still lingering underneath. I began to use meditation not just to relax, to reprogram. And I started using identity based affirmations that actually landed with me. Finally began to embody a new story about who I was becoming. If you're anything like me, you will be sat there thinking, how the hell do you shift your subconscious mind? Well, I'm about to give you 4 tools that have changed everything for me, and you can start to use these today. So, of course, the first tool that I'm going to give you is meditation, but to do it early morning or just before sleep or both. Your brain actually enters theta brainwaves, which is the gateway to the subconscious mind. This is when your inner world is most open to suggestion, visualization, affirmations, intention setting during this state can deeply rewire your neural pathways. I know I've said this before, but if you've ever listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza, this is where the magic actually happens. Talk about repetition and emotion. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to logic. It responds to repetition and emotion. Saying, I am confident once will not work. But repeating it with feeling every day while visualizing it, that starts to rewire the belief. And your third tool in your kit is identity-based affirmations. Instead of saying, I want to be confident, try, I am someone who speaks with clarity and calm. Your brain starts to believe when it sounds like you now, not some version of you within the future. It has to sound authentic. So the last part of your toolkit is somatic anchoring, and I didn't realise how often I was repeating negative stories through body language. Try placing your hand on your heart, breathing into your belly, and anchoring your new belief with your body. It helps your subconscious feel safe enough to believe what you are saying. So, along with your toolkit, we'll do some journaling practice. I'm going to give you 3 powerful tool prompts to deepen your shift. Ask yourself, what's one old belief that you've carried with you that no longer feels true? There must be something that you've been led to believe for most of your life, and now you're starting to question it. So ask yourself and find out what that is. And then ask yourself who actually taught you that belief. And is it really your belief or theirs? And then number 3 is, what new identity are you ready to claim? Now remember, you don't want to be rushing these. Let them open something up within you and write them down as if it's already happened, as if you are your future self. And that's it for today, really. You've got yourself 4 new tools in your kit and 3 new journaling prompts. And I think that's a great place to start. Gives you a lot of food for thought and something to get your teeth stuck into. But now we're going to take a deep breath and inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. And repeat after me these affirmations. If you're in a safe space where you can, place your hand over your heart and say with feeling, I am no longer living from my past. I choose a new future. I speak life into who I am becoming. I am reprogramming my reality from the inside out. And there's no doubt about it. You are shifting, and it's happening every time you choose presence over the pattern, the old beliefs. If this episode has spoke out to you, please follow the show and leave us a review or share it with somebody who you think's already stepped into their power. Remember, you don't have to wait until you feel ready. Your subconscious listens to what you practice, not just to what you believe in. So keep showing up, keep doing the work, and the shift is already happening. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, trust your timing, honour your truth, and keep coming home to you. This is the Inner Shift Collective.